What is up, everybody? It's your boy Chris Cage coming at you 2 times, and we have a weekly race video for y'all. We have a down and back track set up here for y'all, but two things. One is facing a different direction, and number two, we decided to recreate the 2-in-1. Yes, since we got the new double hot curves over there, every down and back layout is changing. So Free Range Raceway, the Narrows Raceway, and the 2-in-1 Raceway, and the flag drop on top of the crash zone are also changing with this brand new layout. So things to look forward to when it comes to this new layout. Number one is that certain top heavy cars and narrow cars that are tall will have problems in this track, or in this new track layout. The other ones, not so much. But in the older layout, cars that are heavy will jerk the slope. This is a nice slope, but the only thing is the curve is low. So anything and everything can happen within this new layout for all these for all the raceway designs. But it is 4th of July, and since maybe some of y'all are quarantined or some of y'all are out, those y'all quarantined folks and everybody in particular, we're going to do something that you may enjoy. This is a realistic cars versus realistic cars match, but with a twist. We have all American cars taking on the world. These groups of 16 will face off against one another in a one-on-one matchup until one side is gone. So the question you should be asking yourself is, will the world win or will America win? Find out as this race will progress on in a unlimited amount of rounds format as we kick off today's 4th of July weekly race. Alright, it's time now to begin the first round. Here is your first matchup. We got the El Camino taking on the Kia Stinger GT. So your winner is the Kia Stinger GT. In this next matchup, we have the Big Air Bel Air taking on Mazda RX-7. Winner is Big Air Bel Air. Up next, we have an El Camino taking on the A-Class. A-Class gets the win. Here we go, next matchup. Alright, looks like I believe we're going to have to give that to the Porsche since he's up front. Alright, next up is the Bonneville Funny Car taking on the Audi RS5 Coupe. If those are wondering, what is this funny car modeled after? This funny car is modeled after a Ford Probe. The Bonneville Probe Funny Car gets the win. In this matchup, we have the Dodge Charger Daytona taking on the 84 Audi Sport Quattro. And they jocked to position. All right, reset and we switch lanes. Let's see who will win it. Oh, they both jocked to position, so looks like what that means is we're going to have no winners. Next up, we have the Acura NSX taking on the 2013 Viper. Acura NSX gets the win. In this next matchup, we have the 2018 Honda Civic Type R taking on the 57 Chevy. Looks like I'm going to have to redo this race. Didn't make it all the way through. '57 Chevy. Alright, next cars we got are the Hot Bird and the Jaguar XE-SV Project 8. The Pontiac Firebird, Hot Bird, gets the win. In this matchup, we have the XK8 taking on the T-Bird Stalker, 1990 version. Jaguar XK8 gets the win. Here's a couple of old school racers that are going to face off against each other. We have the Ford GT40 taking on the Mercedes 500 SL. And your winner is the 500 SL. Alright, next matchup. We're going to have the Corvette Stingray Zamac version take on the 540K. The 540K gets the win. In this matchup, we have two fast, heavy cars facing off against each other. The blown Camaro Z28 taking on the P928. Oh dear. Saw some erasing right here, but judging by how this looks, we may have to review the race. After reviewing the race, the ruling on the track has confirmed that we're going to give the win to the blown Camaro Z28. It seems that as the Porsche 928 was coming down the line, he has actually nudged the Camaro a little bit forward across the finish line, as a picture should have come across the screen just right about at any time, showing that the Porsche quite literally gave the Camaro the win. So therefore, the Camaro will be getting the win. And with that in mind, on to the next race. In this next matchup, we have the Custom 12 Ford Mustang taking on the Subaru 22BST version. Subaru 22BST version is going to get the win. Second to the last matchup is going to feature my favorite Lamborghini of the new decade, 2010 to 2018, for those of you who don't understand what I mean by new decade. We have the Sesto Elemento taking on the Camaro, as it was called on the packaging. And Camaro is going to get the win. Why they have to retire this? Because I really love this casting. And finalima, we have ourselves the F50 taking on the 1996 Mustang GT. F50 is gone because Mattel lost the license to Ferrari. How the hell could you have done that? And the 1996 Mustang GT has been retired since 2003. So let's see who is going to win this between these two. It will be the Ferrari F50 that gets the win. And here's how the matchup is going to look like. Now, since the last matchup, we had a DNF, that means that it does look uneven. But if the Dodge Charger Daytona would have won this race, it would have been even. Just to let y'all know that. But since both of them kept jockeying for position both ways, it has resulted in a DNF. So that's the reason why that happened. But anyway, with that in mind, here is your round 1 finalist. It's time to go on to round number 2, as that will begin right after this. Alright, round 2 begins. Here's your first matchup. And they jocked to position. We're going to race them again. Switch lanes. Kia Stinger GT gets the win. Alright, here's your next matchup. Looks like the same thing has happened again. But either that happened or just a Bonneville funny car with all this weight literally forced itself into the win. Here's your next matchup. Looks like we're going to give this to the Porsche. Alright, here's your next matchup. Hot Bird evens things up. Here comes your next matchup. And the Camaro Z28, the blown Camaro, gets the win. Alright, so we did a miscount. So that Subaru was not supposed to be in the American pile. That was supposed to be in the world pile. So, basically, due to this mistake, we have a shortage of American muscle or American-made cars on the track. So we better hope that this Camaro would take the win. Or if not, looks like they're going to have to do what Synchro did in a previous weekly race video. Let's see who wins this. I don't know why I just keep on going forward like this. But Subi got kicked out, and then the Camaro just slid right through to give it the win. You see, you have to be steady on this track here in order to get ahead. Alright, Bonneville Funny Car and the Hot Bird in the Camaro all have to race again. So no matter what happens, the other Camaro, the one that just recently won, is the one that is safe. So let's see if the Bonneville can win again as he faces on the 500 SL. And the Bonneville Funny Car gets taken out, and the 500 SL is going to move on. This is going to be a great matchup. Even though this is the second to the last race, I want to have a victor in this match. And the Hopper just comes right back and stole it with that burst of speed. So, Hopper gives hope for the American-made cars. And finally, we have 2 red cars. One of them is going to win and move on to the next round. It's going to be the blown Camaro, aka the Camaro Z28, with those saw blades. I don't know why we're not focused on the saw blades, but still, that's your winner. And after round number 2, and this time we have it right and are looking right, it's evened up. So, we could have a blowout, or we could have an uneven matchup, which means that if there's a 4th round, we must have a winner. So, round number 3 will be coming up right after this. Alright, time for round 3. The only way that this round will be over is if we have a blowout fashion between one of the sides. Here is your first official matchup. And Jock in the position, but that does not matter because the Firebird is still going to get the win. What a matchup, despite that botch. After that great matchup, here's your second to the last matchup already. Will something great happen in this one? And this car lost control, and the Camaro bumped him, but did not capitalize. So we're going to have to do this race over again. And we won't have a fourth round, so the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup is going to get the win. Here's your last two. Now, we may have three following scenarios that may happen. The Camaro may win, the SL500 may win, or they both jock for positions twice, resulting in a DNF in a gauntlet match style between the 911 GT3 Cup and the Hot Bird. Whichever one of these three scenarios happens, it will still make for great racing. Let's go. Apologies for the lack of coverage on the beginning. I was trying to see if that little flag thing was up. But I did catch the winner, which is the Camaro. So that means American cars have the advantage. Which means that if the Porsche loses to the Hot Bird, it's over and American cars won. If he loses to the Camaro, then American cars won. But if the Porsche can defeat these two, then this may not be the greatest 4th of July weekly race video for American viewers out there. It might question how these cars roll. But just to let you know, these are all metal and have great rolling power, and this is made in Indonesia. So, yeah, even though it is a German-made Hot Wheels car, we're basing it off of cars, real cars made in the world, not how they're manufactured in Hot Wheels. So, yeah, just thought I'd clarify that up right there for you. Anyway, round 4 begins right now. Fourth round begins now, and the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup has to win in order to avoid utter humiliation. Because if the Hopper wins, then American cars win just like that. Let's see what happens in this first or maybe final race. Looks like we're going to have to review the race, because I have a feeling that that Firebird may have got it. After reviewing the race, and, well, there's no other way of saying it, but American Muscle Cars has won today's weekly race. What a brutal upset the Hot Bird put on the Porsche when the Porsche didn't even have the stability to, quite frankly, navigate the finish line in order to get the win. But the Hot Bird did and has pulled off the greatest win on the 4th of July for today's weekly race. Big shout out to the Hot Bird for doing that goddamn great victory. And just like that, we end today's weekly race, 4th of July themed weekly race, with 2 American muscle cars that have decided to win today's weekly race on the 4th of July, just for everyone in various parts of the world and the U.S. to celebrate the great Independence Day. I actually came up with this idea just while just doing nothing, and then just realizing that the 4th of July is actually on a weekend and it's on a Saturday, so I thought maybe why not make this race and then on top of that make it interesting. And well, here is what interesting looks like right here in front of you. As the world tries to take on the U.S., it is the U.S. that has proved to be dominant in today's weekly race. Now, this weekly race video is just for fun. This is not a statement of any kind. It's just something for fun, so no need to be serious in the comments section, if you haven't already have been. That'll do it for today's Hot Wheels weekly race. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. If you are brand new watching this, be sure you subscribe. And also turn on the notifications bell as well. It's your boy Chris Cage, and I'm coming at you 2 times. And we will see you at the next video. Thanks for watching, and have a safe 4th of July, everyone.